for a lot of people. You know, Hal Jordan is unquestionably the fan favorite Green Lantern.
Oh, yeah.
He's not
Definitely.
everybody's favorite Green Lantern, but he's the favorite Green Lantern by miles.
Right.
Second place is not even close. You know,
No.
the second place you can argue at that point, Kyle Rayner, John Stewart.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an Alan Scott guy. I'm not like I'm core adjacent. You know, like I'm
Yeah.
a Golden Age fan.
Right.
The fact that they're like, let's just go ahead and get past Hal Jordan, that opens up a lot of story opportunity, you know, with getting an old jaded Hal, your Parallax, now with the Absolute World, maybe a Black Hand and stuff like that. But I get them wanting to forward face John Stewart. For one, it's like the diversity inclusion thing. You need to have some kind of representation. The DC universe was all started in the Golden Age. Like they were just white characters across the board. But with DC, it's not necessarily like one of those DEI pushes, though, because their characters were introduced and over a long span of time. They weren't just like forced in and forced up front. Like Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil brought John Stewart in, and it wasn't like it was. You look back and say that was controversial, but the way that they did it, it was in a sense like this is built into our story, and then he's going to be here and he's going to simmer and he's going to be what he's going to be, and ultimately the fandom loves John Stewart and took that character in to the point that a lot of people my age and definitely younger, like I'm 37, so my age and definitely younger, you grew up and John Stewart was the Green Lantern on the television. Like I'm still an Alan Scott guy, but I still love, like Kyle Rayner was Green Lantern in comics and John Stewart was Green Lantern on the Justice League cartoon. So there's a ton of generations that were not first introduced to Hal, despite the fan favoritism. So that's a character that absolutely works. So I get wanting to forward face him, and getting Aaron Pierre playing John Stewart is like shit.
And that was a win. Yeah, perfect casting.
I watched Rebel Ridge. God, it's probably about a year ago now, and I went on like a social media tirade. I'm like tagging James Gunn and stuff. I'm like, yo, have you seen this movie? Go watch Rebel. This is John Stewart. And then about 3 months later, maybe 4 months later, they started talking about how he's on a short list now for John Stewart. I'm not saying I have.
Dude, I don't think it was even 3 months. I think it was like literally a month and a half. He was already on the short list.
Yeah,
he come up. I mean, Rebel Ridge just hit, and that was an awesome movie.
Yeah,
and I mean, it just clicked. I mean, everybody's like, "Yeah, this is John Stewart."
Yo, and in Rebel Ridge, he's like, "I'm a Marine." I'm like, "No, you're John Stewart." Like,
exactly.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And to talk about characters with just screen presence, you know what I mean? Like he just has that presence. He doesn't have to say a lot for you to hear a lot from him. Just what a great performance in that. What, man. Yeah. Good morning, Nerdy Geek. Welcome back, Raider Nation. Just was hanging out with him late last night. I did a members only stream, just kind of opening some mail, kicking it. Raider was there. Appreciate you. Perry, good morning, homie. And as a reminder, anybody in the chat, if you want a link to hop on panel, just DM me on my Instagram, or when Rob wakes up and gets here, you can DM him as well. 90, good morning. Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down. A couple nights ago, me and the wife set up with the kids, and we were just binge watching music videos from like the 90s and early 2000s with the kids, just letting them listen to music and pass out on the couch. And when Creed popped on, Monkey had already fallen asleep, and Finn was just like fascinated by Scott falling. He's like, is he going to hit the ground? Like, why is he singing? Why isn't he scared? Because he's just falling for the first half of the music video. That was a good video. I forgot how cool it was. Definitely inspired by the Mummy movie when the big dust cloud comes at the band and it's got the face on the front of it. I'm like, yes. Good morning, Simon.
Well, good evening, good night, whatever you'd like to call it.
And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
That's exactly right.
Simon, what are your overall thoughts, man? We haven't spoken since the drop. I know you're a Marvel first guy, but that doesn't matter when it comes to these things, like in movies and stuff. Like, it's wide open for all people to check it out. It's way more accessible. Did the Superman trailer do anything for you?
The original bits and pieces did not really do much for me, but this recent trailer gave me a bit of the feels with the old school music, just dropping little hints in there or that, and it always gives you the feels when you hear that music. Doesn't matter whether you're a Marvel, DC comic person. If you love the movie, you love Christopher Reeve.
Yes.
It gives you the, you know, touches you in the nice place. Put it that way. But yeah,
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So yeah, and I did say, like, I'd like all comic movies to be great. Marvel, obviously, for me personally, but I want all of them to be great because I love consuming that stuff. Like Mark knows, I'm a movie buff, like especially the comic book stuff. But you know, I love all sort of movies and things like that. But yeah, I'm optimistically hoping that it will be good.
Quote Superman, not impressed. Good morning, Chris. How are you today, dude? Congrats on getting your short film re-edited for the film festival. That's super awesome. And the trailers got him hyped. Hyped. Very awesome. Very awesome. The you know what got me, you're mentioning some of the stuff that like kind of brings you back. Obviously the John Williams score has been retooled and modernized. That there's just something about that, and I think it was Sector that said it best. It's living proof that sometimes something is so good there's no point in trying to improve on it. What you can do is you can just let it carry. Just let it carry. Like why would you change that? When you hear that bum, 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 something happens. You feel the chills down your arms. You get a sense of familiarity over you, and you get like that's what gives you hope in this medium of Superman.
As the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
there you go.
And you know what got me, Simon? Like, you know, I've been very, very, very skeptical of a lot of this. Not in the final product, obviously, but we're allowed to watch trailers, listen to announcements, see set photos, and make judgments based off of that. Making judgments on set photos or trailers does not mean someone is judging the final product. It does not mean that they won't watch it. They're just voicing their current feelings, and there's literally nothing wrong with that. Just like this dude just said, not impressed. That's okay. You're allowed to not be impressed yet, and you can go into the movie and hope that it does. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, what got me was the behind the scene footage they did on Superman Day. I haven't been impressed with the trailer. I like him, you know, jumping in front of the debris and saving that little kid. I love that moment. I love the look of Lex Luthor. There's certain things I like, and just a lot of it has me nervous. And this trailer, like I clicked on it like the second it dropped. It came out like out at 11:44 on the DC website. Yeah, and I hit it. And I was like, I'm tense. I got my earbuds in. I'm at work. I got a dog in the tub, and I'm standing there with my phone. And I hear Clark's voice for the first time. This is the first time we get David Corenswet speaking as Clark or as Kal-El. And I hear this high-pitched, cracky voice. I'm like, "Aw." He's like, "You'll let me interview you?" He's like, "Sure." I'm like, Bobby freaking Brady is Superman? And then she sits down across from him and says, "Are you ready?" And he says, "Let's do this, Cronkite." And I kind of went, "Whoa, wait a minute. You hear that baritone? You hear that bass in his voice?" And then she goes, "Superman." And he just leans forward with his hands interlocked and puts his elbows on his knees. And he says, "Miss Lane." And I just lost it. I'm like, "No, you are kidding me." I'm like, that was it.
It reminded me of that scene in the original Donner film, in the original Donner Superman, where Clark is in there at Lois's. They're going to go on a date or something. And he's all shriveled up and kind of hunkered. And then you just kind of see him transform, and he straightens up. And
yeah,
I mean, they're both classically trained actors. They're both Juilliard trained. So you're going, but yeah. There's just something about this guy. I've watched from a lot of the interviews with him. He gets it, man. I think this is the closest we're going to get to Reeves. You know, I loved Henry Cavill. I loved him, but he didn't capture that. He was Superman.
That all of them were good in certain aspects, for sure. But that scene that you're talking about is Superman 2 when they're at Niagara Falls.
That's right.
Is determined to prove that Clark Kent is Superman. And if you watch the Donner cut of that film, she brings a pew-pew and she points it at Clark and she says, "You don't quit acting like this will hurt you." And she pulls a trigger and you get an instant moment where you hear the bang from the pew-pew and he just, like you said, straightens up his jawline changes,
everything.
The way that he's like his eyes are held changed, and you're just like, that's not the same person.
Transformed. Yeah.
But during
It's
this
insane.
trailer, that interview scene when he does that with Lois, he's wearing the same outfit that Christopher Reeve was when he went to the fortress, the white shirt with it folded, the sleeves folded up. I'm like, dude, the little details like that are just showing the love and appreciation to the lore, and that's huge for me as a Superman fan.
Me
Love
too.
that interview. Madam.
Yes.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. Have you watched the Superman trailer?
No.
It's okay. Do you have 2 minutes of your life that you can watch this trailer real quick? It's the newest trailer. It's a little bit over.
It's amazing.
For you, Mark, I will. Yes.
I'm asking you to do it for you. So help me help you. I am impressed with the trailer, says Bert.
All right. What am I looking under here on YouTube? Superman newest trailer.
Latest Superman trailer.
You can just hit DC search and it'll take you to the DC YouTube channel. It should be like the first biggest thing on there.
2025.
Just make sure the video came out like 2 days ago.
Official trailer teaser.
No, that's not it.
Is that it? That's not it?
No, it's not. It's not.
You want the newest one.
Just make sure
it's
it's
about 3 minutes.
All right. This one is
2 minutes and 22 seconds, I think it is.
This one's 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah,
that's probably
that's it.
No, that second one, the one with his dad looking at him.
That's it.
That's it.
It's a 3 minute one. Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to mute myself here. So
do it to it. I just can't take anyone with a Soup Bowl haircut serious, as you shouldn't, and I completely agree. That's a point of contention.
That's the whole point. Yeah.
Well, that's a point of contention I can get into. Like, so, like it's something that's worth unpacking because it's hard. It's hard to have these conversations, especially in an internet era where if you have a criticism or a critique, people who legitimately don't know jack shit about any of this stuff, any of the lore, any of the books, any of the relevance of any of these characters will try to tell you how something is, which is just, for me as a DC guy, I was telling someone this the other day, like watching people who are Wikipedia warriors try to explain something to you that you know is super frustrating, but I'm super excited that they're interested in DC stuff and this could be a doorway for them. So I try to be like chill about it, but it's still like there's a part of my ego that just says you need to dunk on these people. I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
They should have went with the full bowl. They should have shaved underneath instead of just. I feel like they half-assed it.
I think they should have gone with his modern haircut that he's had for years and years and years now, where it's just like more military style. It's like short on the sides, a little longer on top. And now people say it's straight out of the comics. Well, for one, no, this is not the bowl cut straight out of the comics. This is somewhere in between. But just because something is in the comics does not mean it works. A lot of stuff is done in comic books all the time. In the near 87 years of comic book history, almost everything under the sun has been done, and the vast majority of it is not timeless, is not legendary, and a lot of it just straight up sucks. And the readers have over the years spoken out and they change things. Guy Gardner's haircut is one of those. Now it's looked back on as a joke. So much so that he's killed in the comics like every day of the week at this point almost. Like he's just a joke character. But that's my whole thing on it. Just because something is done in the comics does not mean that's the path you need to go for the live action. Maybe it's JG and his old tweets that got him fired is why I'm not happy. I got babies and I'm not happy with his old pics and tweets. Dude, that's super fair. Absolutely fair. That's one of those things where you have to choose if you want to try to, or if you even can separate the person from the product. And again, that's not something you even have to do. If somebody does something and it doesn't sit right with you, man, I'd say 100% of the time, trust your instincts, especially when it comes to kids. Trust your instincts and don't second guess yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with you doing that. He doesn't need you to like him, man. It's okay not to. I think that his old tweets and stuff, I was aware of James Gunn in those days, in that era when he was like the indie horror movie scene guy. I understand how that's like back then that was more edgy. And when you apply it to today's connotations with all the things that have happened and come to light since in the real world, those things sit differently today. And I would say what did it for me was the testament of what happened when he was fired. 100% of the people around him, his entire cast and crew,
Yeah.
people that are outspoken, godly Christian men like Chris Pratt, who played Star-Lord, spoke out on his behalf. They said, we're not coming back to work. Those tweets, those things he said are disgusting, but they don't speak to who James Gunn is. Like the people closest to him who understand the context of everything about him, I kind of lean more to trust their view of this guy than just what I can see from where I'm sitting, just from posts kind of thing. That's my personal take on it. But any and everybody, take away your own and trust your instincts. Madam, what did you think?
Amazing. I got goosebumps. Goosebumps. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
what's amazing?
What stood out for you?
I think just the humanity of Superman and how everyone hates him. You know, we can all identify with that. And I just think it really gives more of a human view of him.
Yeah, I like that little bickering.
Than
like,
superpower, you know.
Like, I stopped a war. But did you? Yes, I did.
Yes, I did. I really
did. Going to die.
I do have one complaint though. I think it's time Superman lost his briefs.
Oh, come on.
Something just happened with Madam's internet.
Yeah. Hey,
where'd she go?
I'm saying they're outdated. They look stupid. He just needs to have a clean blue costume going all the way down.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need to have those little briefs on.
Are you up to speed on Kryptonian fashion? Is that what you're saying? That you speak for Krypton?
For a whole world?
In all sincerity, they did that. They did that for years in the comics during the New 52 era. That's why the Henry Cavill Superman for multiple films. You had, what is it? Superman, BVS, Justice League, the Snyder Cut, the scene in Black Adam.
Adam, yeah.
You have 5, and then Shazam. He was in the post-credit scene of Shazam. So for 6 screen appearances, Superman did not have briefs. And then in Superman and Lois that ran for 4 seasons, he did not have briefs. So he's done. God, he's done a lot. Like, I'd say damn near just under 50% of screen time for this guy over the years. If you take out the old black and whites or the old George Reeves stuff, it's been about half and half. Okay, well, I vote for the half that doesn't have the briefs. You vote for the bottom half is what you're saying. I'm trying to separate the center from
Superman's
the
bottom half. I would not turn that down.
Horrible. Horrible.
Oh, here we go. Becker's going for the advanced screening. He's got his code. There you go.
Cool.
That's exciting. A lot of the folks in the Midwest are lucky that they get those theaters that do these 1 week out advanced screenings. That reminds me, our good friend, the Adventures Joseph Michaels, who's always in the chat. Next time we talk to him, I think he'll have already seen Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. So hopefully he won't. God, I love Joe. He does not spoil anything. He doesn't insinuate it with his tone. Nothing. He'll just give you his 3-tier rating out of 10. It'll either be an 8, a 9, or a 10 out of 10. And I'm excited to hear what.
Are you going to be getting one of those funky popcorn tins that I've seen
with the key to open?
Yeah, with the key and it glows up and stuff. That looks cool.
I'm definitely not getting
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voice and the compassion is refreshing. Dude, that moment when you're just kind of cutting through the scenes and he goes, "Hey, buddy, eyes up here," and he takes off.
Yeah,
like
love that.
What?
Too busy looking at his briefs.
USA.
No, I'm sorry, but I come on. The briefs were distracting. They were baggy. They didn't fit properly. Not that I was looking.
That's another
thing.
That's another thing that you can kind of point out and weigh in on. This suit is definitely, every suit, every iteration is different in its own ways. This one, if you go back to like the earliest golden age days of Superman, he didn't have such V-cut briefs. He like what are those called? Like male bikini bottoms kind of thing that were like common for men to wear.
Speedos.
Yeah. Like, how Speedos are cut, and like men wear Speedos all over the world where they're not like down to your knees, but they're cut high. But that's typically Europe. How Superman's trunks are drawn on him. But there's also plenty of iterations. Frank Quitely, the artist who draws All-Star Superman,
he does the trunk.
Those Speedos kind of turn into like trunks, like short seam trunks. And that's how this is cut. It's not cut up like a V. It's more like the All-Star Superman trunks, as well as the earlier Golden Age Superman stuff, but more closely to that Frank Quitely design. So you can see where he pulls a lot of inspiration from a lot of different sources. Again, that doesn't mean I pulled it from this real thing, so that's automatically means it looks great. It's just that's a risk. It's a creative decision.
I just like to say, on behalf of all Australians, thank you for the Speedos, because we invented them.
Did you?
That's cool.
That's why that's why sharks always attack y'all.
Exactly.
The one thing I love about the suit, though, like you said, it kind of harkens back to the Golden Age Superman. But you also, you've got Kingdom Come, the emblem, which kind of looks more like a symbol instead of the letter S, which I really like. And, you get a little bit of the New 52 with some of the piping in the costume, which I know it was armor in the New 52, but you get some of the high collar and stuff like that. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of everything, and it just works for me.
Yeah, you get the the Kingdom Come style S, but it's like outlined and surrounded like the Fleischer Brothers era. It's got like the colors of the modern one versus the Kingdom Come red and black. He's definitely like, okay, so if I take inspiration and little things from everything, someone can find something they like, maybe.
Right.
And for some people, I think it's not necessarily hitting yet. There's that aspect of this that with any time you rebrand a franchise, reboot something, there is an adjustment period. You have, like, we all know what Superman looks like. He looks like Henry Cavill. We know what his suit looks like. It doesn't have the underwear on it. There's a lot of people that's their introduction to Superman, and that has been it for a decade or more at this point. So we're changing that. It's completely changing. There'll be an entire generation that this is their introduction to Superman, and this will look completely normal. But for a lot of folks, this is that adjustment period for us. Like, it's going to take the performance, the actual film, the rolling into it, and see how it settles with us, because it's still just like, it's almost like an uncanny valley effect. I know you're telling me that's Superman, but my mind's eye still sees something else as Superman that has to like overcompensate for, and only the performance will be able to do that or not for a lot of folks.
So I'm just going to throw this out there at you guys. Do you think this will be the first DC movie to crack $1 billion as far as Superman? Will. Well, you know what I mean. As far as soups,
Behold,
Aquaman did it. I had not watched the second one, and I went back and watched it a while back, just a few weeks ago. It's a lot of fun, man.
Dude, it is tough. That second Aquaman movie is tough.
More blood. I'll kill it.
That movie is tough.
$5 tickets if you're on T-Mobile. What?
Yeah, you have to sacrifice your coverage, but they'll give you a ticket discount.
Your coverage kind of sucks, I gotta admit. Verizon's better.
What is going on, Ian and Becca? How are y'all? Thank God it's Friday is right. Madam, the briefs don't make the man, and she knows it. She knows it. That's why she wants him to come off. Slick trying to take this man's clothes off. I support it. I support you in your mission.
Trying to strip him down.
I like a Superman that is more close to the Golden Age, needs to learn powers. I think the more close to the Golden Age is cool. This Superman might just look it. I don't think this Superman is going to be learning anything. I think he's going to be a Superman that teaches. I've said this for a long time now, but when I first saw the cast announcement, it was just the cast. This is before the set photo stuff, when they were rolling in saying this character, that character. I'm like, yo, they're about to bastardize Kingdom Come. Now, I know that sounds terrible. I don't mean that in necessarily a negative way. I wish that Kingdom Come would be untouched in the hopes that it gets like proper adapted at some point, sometime. Even if they do a separate standalone animated thing, I would love to see that, like in a 2-part feature film. But I think we're going to get that standard story format of Superman's been a while. He's old, antiquated, outdated. You hear people in the real life say it all the time. He's the Boy Scout. He's overpowered. None of that is true. He is a Boy Scout, but not in a negative way. But I think we're going to see
Boy Scout underwear.
Yeah, yeah. We'll never
Back to the underwear.
always be prepared. But I think it's gonna be one of those things where the public is grown tired of him, much like public grows tired of everything really fast these days, and they see the Justice Gang, Maxwell Lord superheroes, the Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific. They see them as the new shiny toy superheroes. We like them. They're a little bit rougher around the edges. They're willing to hit someone in the face where Superman is not. So they think Superman's outdated. So I think this is going to be a film where they're going to see firsthand why Superman, his moral compass, his universal values, the old way is not outdated. And as a matter of fact, it's timeless and it needs to be implemented now more than ever. I think that theme will be played out through this movie. And that's a big part of why we have so many characters.
I think the other thing, like touching on this comment in particular, the one about the learning powers thing, I know Mark and I have been a part of a few conversations where the origin story is, you can't keep doing origin stories every time you get a new Superman or a new Batman or a new Spider-Man or whatever like that. Like anybody who's watched comic book movies or even just superhero or movies in general, you get sick of the same origin story and maybe a slight twist. We'll do it from a different perspective or a different angle or a different universe storyline, but you can't keep doing origin stories every single time because that's when it starts getting repetitive and people start getting sick of it.
Yeah,
that's very true. I just wish we could get a Craven origin story for once.
I did through the trailer though. I really appreciate Nicholas Hoult being the bad guy because he is an amazing actor. I really think we have yet to see the power of his acting. I think
when he's walking through the fortress, just not even disturbed by the flying robot parts and the carnage around him, he's just walking like just body down. I'm like, God dang, that's Lex Luthor.
Yeah, that's the only thing that bothered me about the trailer though. There's so much going on, man. That's what really my biggest reservation for this movie is. I think he's trying to do too much, and I'm hoping we haven't really seen the through line story. I'm hoping the through line story is strong enough to kind of carry this movie and make all of that work.
AR, yeah, that's we were mentioning it beforehand. The collective amnesia of the internet these days. I'm absolutely loving it. This movie has so many blind fans. It has its blind haters, but focusing on like the fanboy aspect of this, where if you're critical, you have like this large army of Wikipedia fans that just attack you for some reason because you've said something critical about this movie, call you Snyderbot, call you this, call you that. But if you say something about there's too many characters, they just want to jump down your throat. But if you rewind the clock, way back into the past, I mean, a lot of people might have forgot, but like last year, when other movies came out that had too many characters that were solid films, they critiqued it. Like even Black Adam, countless people said it was so stupid that they had the Justice Society in there. We didn't get the origin of Hawkman. We don't know this backstory to Dr. Fate, even though there's lines of dialogue that establishes those things between those characters and they're not the focal point of the film. It was still too many characters, this and that. But now that James Gunn has increased it tenfold, everyone's like, this is normal. This is how it's supposed to be, which is blows my mind. But it's
good. It's good to have the extra characters in the movie. Like, yes, it can be overdone, but make them as a secondary focus. Like, they're part of the story, but they're not the main thing. So Black Adam, was prime example where most of the time you're just seeing Black Adam and he's fighting and doing what he's doing and stuff like that. Yeah, there was plenty of other characters, but they didn't take the whole show away from Black Adam himself.
Yeah, it was smart writing too. Like, we have to go to Kondak. Black Adam's awake. So just that 1-2 minute scene when they're flying there, you get Kent and Carter talking. Good to see you again, old friend. It's been X, Y, and Z. Oh, those are they set the tone of these characters and how far back their history goes. And then the new characters introducing themselves to each other. Yeah. And my grandfather was on the team kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like they did a good job not overbearing the show, but do you think they'll be able to, with this many characters, to establish characteristics, to establish motive, to establish anything when you have like the Engineer, Ultraman, who's now confirmed, told y'all that last October, Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, Maxwell Lord. These are all characters that could be primary characters of their own or like in a big ensemble movie.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Yeah, and the movie's supposed to be 2 hours and 20 minutes, so
Not long at all.
that's not long at all to like create a long storyline with all those characters.
Morning,
Right.
James.
At least they're getting back to, because there was a
Shorter
lot
movies.
of movies, not only superhero movies, but a lot of movies were going like an hour and 15, an hour and 20,
That's
an hour and a
not-
half, like was the most.
Yeah. And you expect
Now
me
it's
to pay
starting to
full
get
price
back.
for a ticket?
Mm.
I'm not paying full price for a ticket when you're not giving me a whole movie.
Now it's getting back to those sort of 2 hour plus
Here
sort
we
of
go.
movies.
We got a good question.
Yeah.
Let's go around the horn. What's your favorite Superman movie and portrayal of Superman? I think a lot of us might have.
I gotta go my old school Christopher Reeve. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
mine. Christopher Reeve and
Same.
Superman 1.
Yep.
I do have a soft spot for the Henry Cavill movies. I do love the Henry Cavill movies, but yeah, Christopher Reeve, Superman 1, and probably Man of Steel with Henry Cavill. For me personally.
Yeah, I don't hate on the
Cavill is
Snyderverse.
good.
I love Man of Steel.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big Snyder fan. I'm one of those weird ones though that don't think that this movie should be killed and burned with fire because it's not made by Snyder. I don't know. I guess it's because I can like when they gave us the Snyder cut, like I felt the closure. Like I was super grateful. Like I'm so grateful that they went and did this. Like what an undertaking, what an exception to the rule for them to give us this as closure. Like that was the whole point of it. And then as soon as it comes out, it just creates a movement from a bunch of unhinged psychopaths that now won't accept anything in the world except for this person who said he's not returning to do more to return to do more. From the person who has co-signed James Gunn's work, they hate James Gunn's work. It's just, I don't know. It's unreasonable.
I say there's a lot of love for the Smallville series in the chat too, and I have the entire series, and I've probably watched it 5 times over at least. So I love that series.
Awesome. I know everyone always says
fantastic.
James Gunn can't do ensembles cast well, but I think this is the time we'll turn it around. No one. In all sincerity, that's been one of the critiques. Like this isn't an ensemble film. James Gunn does great ensemble cast with ensemble films, but he's taking a non-ensemble film and he's making it one. That's I think that's some of the concerns for some folks, because Superman comes stacked. If you think about it, you have Superman, then naturally Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, Perry White, Cat Grant.
But that's
Jimmy
an
Olsen.
ensemble.
Jimmy Olsen.
That's what I'm saying. If you just take
It's an
Superman,
ensemble cast.
if you take Superman as a solo, every movie that exists is an ensemble cast. Period. There's supporting actors. There's stuff
Unless
like that.
it's like a Macbeth soliloquy or something.
Yeah, if it's a
Exactly. But if you
soliloquy,
take
exactly.
Superman, and take all of his adjacent characters, like established characters build out his film already. So like that's what's interesting with this, with taking someone who you expect to see, and they have confirmed all of these characters that work at the Daily Planet or he interacts with it at home, like Ma and Pa Kent. Like there's so many characters that you feel are needed to be in a Superman project. It's crazy to think we have like 10 characters that are mandatory if Superman's there. Now, they don't have to be there for a large part of the story, the plot, but these are your extras to some degree. Some of them are just simple extras in the room with a line or two of dialogue. That's it. But you have that many characters that you have to check off a box when you're writing this film. And then you go and you add twice as many more that are now somehow part of the plot.
Yeah, but like those essential ones are like they establish his character. You know, if you don't have those other people, if you don't have his Kryptonian parents, and if you don't have his Earth parents, then you don't know what the fuck's happening. Like,
yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
my
have
point. Yeah, I agree. Like the fact that that's what I'm saying. Like you're taking Superman and you have added all of like, you have
hell, Krypton's
Maxwell-
a character.
You have, well, they've added for this, like you have all that Superman stuff that you said that you need to establish him. Agreed. And then James Gunn has added Maxwell Lord, Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Metamorpho, Ultraman,
Hawk Lady
the
or
Engineer,
something?
Hawkgirl.
Hawkgirl.
we've added
I'm
all
not a
these
DC
people
person.
on top of the mandatory 10.
Dude,
And
I'm
it
not a
just seems
DC
like a lot.
person, and that fucking trailer yesterday, I was crying. Now, it may be because Aunt Flo's close, but it was making me cry. I was like, I want to see this. It's so bad.
The
No.
scene with his dad was amazing to me. That was probably my favorite part.
Which one?
The
His
one
dad.
with his father.
Yes.
That
Yes.
was amazing.
Just hug it out with his pops, you know?
Yeah.
That's the good stuff. Like he's on the farm, you know, it's just I love it.
And the
I
one
love it.
thing, we mentioned all these characters. Think about all the characters that they haven't shown. I mean, I've heard rumors Supergirl's going to have a cameo in this thing, and we'll probably get a couple other characters, pop in and out.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of this guy, the Beast, the guy that plays Beast in the X-Men.
Nicholas Hoult.
I think he looks like a good Luther, Lex.
He does.
I think
Thank
he's
you.
going to give it some dynamism and
Because
really.
he's an excellent
I
actor.
think he's going to nail it.
Untapped in his potential.
He's got so much more range than anybody gives him cred for, but he's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
And
prove
it's like-
that's not true
I
by
kill
killing
it.
Alfred. Superman depends on dude, folks. Yeah, the killing of Alfred is still like massive part of the character of Batman. Like even Nightwing and stuff, like that entire Tom Taylor run, like it was a lot of the character growth, like motives and stuff came from that letter that Alfred left him.
And I like the idea that he is in no way attached to any sort of political agenda, that
Right.
all he is about is saving as many human lives or any life as he can. It's not, and he doesn't give a fuck how he's perceived because
Yeah,
that's his role. Maintain life,
Right.
protect
that-
life,
Do good.
do
Just
good.
Just do good.
And that's one of those easy lines that they've given the naysayers. You know how I said you have naysayers out there that are looking for a reason to dislike it.
I'm a
Because
naysayer and I couldn't.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the hate mongers, the people that are going to hate on it no matter what, but they're
Haters
not going to
gonna
just say, like, they're not going to argue online and just say, I'm going to hate it no matter what. I have no reasoning behind it. I just
I've
hate
got
it. That's not what
experience with
they say.
people
They
like
look
that.
they look for a reason to latch onto, and then they die on that hill, no matter how justified or not it is.
Yeah. I'm
And
going to
they're-
die in the underwear hill.
You should. Just the tip though. That whole thing with the trailer, like I stopped a war, and people's like feeling about that's literally Batman versus Superman. He invades a sovereign nation in the opening scene to save Lois, causing like countries to
International
squabble over it
discord.
and try to figure out his role on this planet. With someone with his powers, we have to establish some kind of guardrails or guidelines, and it even
Gotta
goes
follow
to Capitol Hill.
rules, Earth rules.
But I'm saying like a lot
That's
of the
what
people
we-
online are using that like, yo, they're just copying and pasting stuff from the Snyder world and mushing it together to make this movie.
Rob, did your alarm not go off today?
No, it went off, and I don't know. Somehow I didn't get up out of my chair. But Mark couldn't be bothered to call me, apparently. So, sorry.
Figured you needed to rest.
Oh,
For once, Rob, I was here on time, so I figured you needed to rest.
Leave Romania for a goddamn
Yeah,
minute.
after 5 or 10 minutes, you could call me and say, "Hey, dude, where you at?" Or text me, because I literally I slept in my recliner, so I wouldn't disturb anybody, or else it's easier for me to get up. I picked up my phone when the alarm went off, and woke up, but the phone was in my hand. I just didn't quite make it out of the recliner.
Well, you're here now, and that's what counts.
I feel like
Yeah,
the recliner is becoming your
journalism.
bed.
That's right, AR.
Was that, madam?
I feel like the recliner is becoming your bed gradually.
Well, on Thursday nights, especially, I sleep out here before the show. It's easier to get up than if I fall asleep in the bed. It's a little more hardcore of a sleep, and so it's harder to wake up that early in the morning.
Oh. What's up, Billy?
But it is a comfy recliner.
It sounds like it. It's a lazy boy. Does it help
Of
you
course.
get up? Is it one of those chairs that helps you like?
No, I'm not
stand
that.
out of the chair.
I'm not that old. I've had the recliner for almost 20 years now. So, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to see a new Soups. And like honestly, I haven't been moved like by a DC like if a trailer moves me to where it's like, I'll fucking see it. And like what is it? The Nolan Batmans? I did
Yeah.
that. And this is the first time where it's been a non-Batman where I'm like, I'm fucking seeing this bitch. Seeing it. So
Not trying to derail the.
You're
Well, I
watching
guess
it.
I am. But have you guys heard about Matt Reeves not coming back for the Batman 2?
It's been a rumor that's been going around, or maybe it was actually announced. I'm not sure which it was.
who
but
is that?
That's crazy.
It came up recently.
Who's Matt Reeves?
He's a director.
Directed the Batman.
Oh, okay. The one with Harry Potter?
No, the vampire.
Yeah, no, yeah.
The Twilight
The
Kid.
vampire, shiny boy.
Oh yeah, vampire. They're all the same to me.
Yeah, our turds.
Pattinson, whatever the other one is. What's the Harry Potter one? They look
Cedric Diggory. Cedric Diggory, I think
Daniel
his character's name was.
Radcliffe.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have an accent. You have an accent.
I'm the only one with an accent.
I know.
So as of today,
Cedric Diggory.
while there have been rumors that Matt Reeves might be stepping away from the Batman 2, James Gunn has apparently addressed the rumors and confirmed that Matt Reeves is still on board to direct the Batman 2.
Good.
Like,
I
not well
think that
sick,
one crashes and burns without Matt Reeves.
Hey, Matt Reeves is still on board, says James Gunn.
The Batman 2 is currently scheduled to be released on October 1st, 2027.
They got pushed back a year because of Pattinson's commitment.
Right.
They crossed
all
the
those twink white boys look
They
the same
crossed
to
the
me.
threshold of not having the script ready, which, from what I understand, Matt Reeves is dealing with some health issues that have slowed him down. So it is what it is. You can only do what you can do. But the reality is, a lot of people are involved in these productions, and it's really crazy scheduling to line them up. And I'm excited to see whatever the hell it is that Pattinson is doing in Dune 3.
Was Pattinson in a Harry Potter movie?
Yeah.
He was.
And he got killed by Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
Goblet of Fire. He got killed by Voldemort at the end.
I haven't seen a single Harry
He wasn't
Potter
in Lord of the Rings, brother John, so she doesn't care.
or Twilight. Never seen either. I know I know Lord of the Rings.
I've seen all of Twilight. I have never seen any Harry Potter.
I was forced to read the first Harry Potter in.
I won't be ashamed. I love the movies.
Don't be ashamed.
My kids were at the perfect age when those come out, and
so was my brother.
Hey, we went on the ride with them.
What do y'all think of this sentiment that Gunn is booting Chris? What do y'all think of Gunn booting Matt Reeves because he doesn't want to connect Pattinson's Batman to the DCU?
It directly is in contrast to the actual James Gunn statement addressing the rumors of Matt Reeves.
I always appreciate somebody that'll take somebody at their word, but that for me, that's just proves to not be true more often than not these days. And so, like, there's all kinds of.
In that case, let me say this for the record, Mark. I like you.
Perfect. That's a great example. But what do you think of the idea of Matt Reeves not connecting Pattinson's Batman to the DCU? Take out the James Gunn angle and how James Gunn may feel about it. What do you feel about it, Rob? Do you want to see this Batman be part of the DCU, or would you like it to remain a standalone?
It can be part of it, but it can be part of its own, but still standalone. It doesn't. You don't have to have interconnected movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. It can be its own movie,
just on Superman
on its own, beginning to end.
I mean,
you don't need anything else.
All that happens is when you do the interconnected, what you find is you start to lose. You start to reduce the amount of audience that's keeping up with it. That starts to go through it, and it's harder to get new on board versus having
Comes homework.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine if you want to do it. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing a bunch of individual stories, and then having you want to do a team up thing or a crossover, do with one offs or something else, but don't necessarily go out and go, I got to copy the Marvel universe.
I
And
think
there's nothing wrong with having a series, saying that the DC universe is a series of pods that are individual things that are happening in their own individual cities or locations, and
coalescing.
You can talk about them and reference them and have little Easter eggs. But
exactly what I was going to say, Lady Fantastic, about Penguin. They should all be in the series. What's up, Darth?
What up, Darth?
My man's forklifting.
So Mark Wayne, I love the trailer.
Hell
Mark
yeah.
Wayne?
Hell yeah.
And what's Superman's first appearance of curly hair?
Oh, that's going to be action one, man.
Yeah, when you see him turn, he gets the little
spit curl.
Yes,
curly hair people are underrated. I had curly hair once.
Once. I hope you kept some of it in a jar. I hope you kept some of it in a jar. Did you keep some of it in a jar?
Yeah. Jar of curly hair.
I want that for cloning later.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just want to say I love the trailer. I want to say good morning, everybody. Everybody have a good Friday.
You too, man.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go eat a bagel with hash brown and thick cut ham.
Damn, you're making me hungry, bro.
All right,
Yes,
that's a meal right there.
That's a good Friday meal.
Yeah, well, you know, fat guys, we like to eat.
True
I
that.
don't call myself fat. You know what I mean? Nowadays, you know, a lot of
You
rules.
should not call yourself fat, Doris. You should not talk to yourself like
a
that.
fat kid at heart, you know.
You can even just go, hey, a working man's got to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Boys need to grow.
All right.
Hey, Darth.
Yes,
Darth,
sir.
How do you
Yes, sir.
feel about Matt Reeves' Batman? Do you want to see him connect to the DCU or stay independent?
Stay in the bubble. Yeah. Let Gunn do his thing. Let him get their own Batman. Keep that, like, I don't know, Elseworlds type scenario. Because that was good. I love that Batman. And I don't know if that'll work what Gunn's trying to do. But I'm excited for the Superman. I'm all in, bro. Like, I don't like the uniform though. It's kind of lame.
Thank you. What do you think about the briefs, Darth? What do you think about
done something else,
nice
but-
baggy?
Darth, are you team underwear or team no underwear?
Team no underwear. Or team no underwear. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds
So-
like fun, everybody. Let us know where you're at on that. Drop underwear or no underwear in the chat.
He needs drawers. I mean, he needs his underwear.
My whole thing with the Matt Reeves Batman universe, if Matt Reeves Batman is going to continue, which looks like that's a ridiculously successful franchise he has going between the near $900 million box office smash that the movie was, and then to the Penguin's massive success on HBO, that looks like that's an established Batman, and that is Batman for people. Introducing a separate Batman in a separate film, also in the theaters, is crazy. Don't even worry about Batman if that's the route that you have to go. You don't get to do Batman. You don't get to do both without completely losing the audience. And that's apparent if you just go look at the comments underneath any Peacemaker season 2 post, where the vast majority of people speaking on it are completely confused on why are there Superman Justice Gang members in this trailer. We saw Snyder Justice League characters at the end of the first season, and they don't understand and they're confused. Despite us keeping up with this stuff, understanding what they're doing, having an idea and waiting to see it presented, most people are left befuddled. And if you introduce two separate Batmans, you're going to lose the freaking audience, and they're going to crash out on it, as Darth would say. They're going to completely crash out on it. This is a day and age where you have to worry about people crashing out on your property because they will drag dollars away from it with their crash out. If they don't want to bring Batman in, you can't do Batman then. Now, in terms of bringing him in, the fact that it's so different, that's what would make it work so well. Gotham looks like Gotham. It will not be mistaken for Metropolis. Just like if you watch Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Adventures from the 90s, you wouldn't mistake Metropolis for Gotham. They have their own identities, their own styles. It's why is it always right in Gotham? You know,
Metropolis is like booming and
that they did not do in the MCU. Like make it all different.
I think what they did in the Penguin was perfect. I think they should take each character, give them a Penguin series,
give them a mini,
them, and no, that would be brilliant. Just like
I want a Zoe.
Aren't they supposed to be doing another one? They're supposed to be doing, I think, a Catwoman series.
Well, they're doing a Penguin season too.
Have little nuances that are new, and you know.
I want to say, well, if it's a Penguin season 2, they need to implement and get Catwoman in there because that's everything they were implying by that letter.
The letter
from her
half sister, right?
And I thought it was her cousin for some reason.
Maybe we should just do the next one. Should be a 6-episode Catwoman with Zoe Kravitz. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was coming.
A mini with Kravitz would be awesome.
Yeah, she's super talented.
We should just put in a bunch of TV shows for the sake of having TV shows because that's been shown to work.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of the Zoe Kravitz Catwoman.
I've never seen her
myself. No,
you never saw the new Batman movie?
Oh, absolutely! Like
the one with the new Harry Potter.
That's Zoe Kravitz Catwoman in there.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I'm sorry.
What about Anne Hathaway? Catwoman.
I gotta
like her,
guys. You guys have a
Bye, Darth.
Be safe.
Be safe.
Take it easy.
Take care.
I hate saying
balloons out of here.
I agree with Mark. You don't have to say it. We all assume it.
What?
Yes, I love that.
That everyone agrees with me.
Oh my
they
God.
did something like that. It was called Gotham.
Gotham is dark and seedy, and Metropolis is more like it's safer. More, like the streets are safer. It seems like there's no overt crime, like there's overt crime in Gotham, and I feel like that's just one of the things. Like I see Metropolis is clean and shiny, and got a booming economy where there's a lot of like corruption and infrastructure damage and shit. It's all dark and doom and gloom.
They're two different sides of New York.
Sure.
In a world with Green Lanterns and Hawk people, magic, there definitely won't be universe hopping. Oh, damn it. I started eating my breakfast biscuit before taking the wrapper off again.
That's a good one. But that brings up a good point. I think personally, the multiverse, we've got to get away from that shit in these movies because it's losing the casual fan. It almost sunk Marvel, and it's sure to do the same to the DCU.
I hate the multiverse stuff. It
God,
drives me insane. Just leave it one universe and go from there.
Yeah, the movies did the multiverse in such a way that like that's something that in the comics is typically really fun. Like speaking for DC more than Marvel, DC had like their multiverse angle down pretty well. You'd get like some big events, summer events, and big moments, and it's fun like waiting to see how this is connecting to the comic lore and stuff. But then you get like this Spider-Verse and the introduction of it in the MCU, and they instantly made like the general consensus on multiverse stuff just negative. People are like, oh, screw this.
Yeah, the execution was hot garbage.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about it that was so bad. Like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Mom, concept wise, that's perfectly fine, but it was just like this. I don't know. Like the Spider-Man movie that worked out perfectly fine with bringing in the OGs in there, but something about like once we hit Multiverse of Madness, everyone was like, "Yo, we're over this." I guess they just thought it'd be like a plot device for one film, but it's like this is the status quo of these comic universes, really. It was not accepted in the movie format at all. Flash, multiverse, anytime they're like, even South Park already clowned on it, like as a plot device for lazy writers and making more mistakes instead of fixing mistakes.
Comic Club Lobo solo movie. Oh Lord, that'd be wild.
Originally, the multiverse was a way to bring characters together, like bring the Golden Age characters and the Modern Age characters at the time into shared stories.
There wasn't a multiverse with fucking well, actually I'm thinking of Watchmen, but it's not old and new really meeting. It's like the old having flashbacks of the past. So that's my bad.
Yeah, Watchmen didn't have a multiverse.
I love
They didn't.
Watchmen.
They didn't They didn't experience multiverse till Doomsday Clock.
It's flashbacks.
And like in Marvel, when you did the Ultimate Universe, that was kind of a reset to bring on new readers. You started with Peter Parker, had a whole new origin, and all the other characters
back in the day.
Huh?
Talking about the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
Dude, I really enjoyed the OG Ultimate Universe for a long while. Like it was, man, it was awesome. It was really cool. And Rob, I think, has the birth of the multiverse right behind him.
Yes, I do. It is right there.
Right there, Flash 123, a flash of two worlds. Well, if DC is multiversing, then James Gunn best be going for the Injustice storyline so Cavill can come back and save the day. We'll see. Dude, how crazy would it be if underneath Ultraman's cowl, it's not just evil David Cornsweat, it's Henry Cavill.
Oh, wow.
That would be freaking hilarious.
One thing I do love.
I would be so mad.
You've got the Injustice. The Injustice logo. You know, what if the Kingdom Come logo? How bad? And later on, you bring back Cavill as Kingdom Come Superman. That would be freaking awesome.
No, we already did it with Brandon Routh.
Yeah, Brandon Routh did it. But hey,
and he looked good.
The fact that we've done something recently is not stopping James Gunn from writing it into his.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think. Just walk away from Cavill.
I think that's the best way to do it.
It's hard to walk away from. I mean,
well, like he's not going anywhere.
Okay, let him walk away from you. How's that?
Yeah, let him walk away.
That way you can watch him leave.
Is he wearing underwear? I don't know. Then I could.
Doesn't matter.
No, he doesn't wear. No.
He goes commando under the suit.
Yeah, Voltron is now in post.
That's right.
He's about to start Warhammer 40K, which is his #1 fandom and passion. So Cavill is finally at a place in his career where he was hung up for years with Warner Brothers, getting strung along and kicked down the road, greatly affecting his career. And now he's at a place where he's actually able to start working. But it's funny, people
in the Tudors too. Wait, no.
Yeah.
And there's fresh rumors that Cavill is going to be the new Wolverine again.
Yeah.
In the World War Hulk movie, apparently. So whether that's
such a stupid thing to do.
Yeah, I think it'd be leave it alone.
Who would you guys cast for the new Wolverine?
Shia LaBeouf.
Fuck no. Not unless you want fucking production delays and some breakdowns and somebody giving syphilis.
I'm not
to
talking
everybody.
about Shia LaBeouf from 8 years ago. I'm talking about current Shia LaBeouf.
It could be Shia LaBeouf in 2
I want
months,
Shia
given the right
LaBeouf.
circumstances. You don't know. That motherfucker is not stable.
He is now.
No. Is he? Does that mean?
Yes,
he's
he is now for what?
I
2
don't know.
weeks, a month? He's a Catholic now. What next?
No, he's been a lot longer than that now, but I would recommend any and everybody to go watch the real ones with Shia LaBeouf. It's Sean Bernthal's podcast.
I watched it.
Good stuff, man.
And that
Good
was
stuff.
not recent either. And
I questioned the we'll see.
that's good. We should question stuff like that.
It seems like he's in a really good place. I hope he stays there for longer than a few years.
Yeah, agreed. You got to start somewhere, though, right? You got to start somewhere.
Sure.
If
Martin Downey Jr., he turns it all around. Let him know.
He definitely admitted.
My biggest takeaway from that Shia LaBeouf thing, Caroline, is who did he place the blame on?
So at the end, and he's gotten to a point to where he says, "Look, it is with me," but he also had to recognize. It took him a lot of time to recognize that he had a lot of shit to deal with. He had some baggage because his family was not
not
cool.
only does he take full responsibility for all of his actions, he is at a place where he spent the time and did the work to identify all the actions.
There were some
and call
things
them
though
out.
that like
Stuff
I think
that
he
we
had
weren't even
made
privy to,
specifically.
he's open about and holding himself to account for. So that's like the best starting place for anybody trying to
He was
correct their
definitely
wrongs.
sketchy about like his giving herpes to people, but
What?
that's okay. Yes. Like he gave FKA Twigs fucking herpes, and he's just like, oh no, I mean, I've always had sores in my mouth my whole life, so I didn't know how to talk about it. And it's like, bitch, you gave people herpes. But anyways, sorry. Good talk. I love you guys.
Roscoe, good
Man.
morning. Hope everybody has a phenomenal day, and we hope Shia LaBeouf has a pharmaceutical day. Keep that in check.
A pharmaceutically sound day. Take that
Yeah.
Zyrtec, bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Ezra Miller is Wolverine.
That's too bad because I really like Shia LaBeouf. Like,
Wasn't Watchmen supposed to be Blue Beetle, Peacemaker, The Question, and Phantom Stranger? Yes, and no. So DC Comics
Phantom
bought out-
Lady was Silk Spectre, right?
no.
Who was
The Nightshade. The DC Comics bought out Charlton Comics, and when they acquired Charlton Comics, Alan Moore's like, ooh, I want to do a story with these Charlton characters. I have an idea. And he pitched Watchmen to DC, and DC read it. They're like, dude, are you outside of your mind? We just paid a lot of money for these characters. We want to bring them into the DC universe. And if we do your story, these characters will be tainted. They'll have this baggage. And I mean, y'all read Watchmen. Like, these are flawed individuals. So
Definitely.
Alan's like, yeah, no problem. I'll take Captain Atom and I'll paint him blue and call him Dr. Manhattan. I'll take Peacemaker and I'll call him the Comedian. I'll take The Question. I'll call him Rorschach. I'll take Nightshade. We're
still
Silk
talking
Spectre.
about that story.
It'll never not be talked about. It's a moment in time.
Good.
But yeah, he took all the Charlton characters and just redesigned them and renamed them into the Watchmen cast and characters. Blue Beetle is Night Owl. Archie is literally the beetle that Ted Cord flies around in.
Like, look, Shia LaBeouf 100% is an excellent actor. Let's not get that twisted.
Wall Street, he was
Let's
amazing.
not get that twisted.
Everything.
He's an excellent performer. He's got it in spades, and he always has had it. Like, some people are born with it. He was.
Yeah.
But he's also just got issues because he's human. And so, you know, because he's got a lot of heavy issues, some of it was interfering with like his ability to just have like a consistent work life and consistent relationships. And so because he was so famous, it ended up getting a lot more blown up than if it was just like a regular joke, because we all have our shit. But like, you know, like Mark said, he's trying to own what he can and just like try and have a happier life as a pops, as a husband, you know, and I think he's gotten a lot of meaning out of being a dad, is what I seem to see. But you know,
I didn't know he's a dad now. That's cool.
Yeah, he's got a little girl, I want to say. Because he talked about just saying, like, on that show, like, now that I have this little girl, like, I just want to protect her, and I have this whole new direction that I have to be my best self for my kid. You know, it was real good. It seemed like he was in a good headspace. But at the same time, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen him go through good headspaces and then not. And like, I hope that this is solid, but it seems like he's building a good support system in the sense that he's got this little family and he's in the church doing, you know, little brotherhood programs or whatever consistently. And it's just like, cool. As long as you have a support system and you know, you're feeling all right, good.
Yeah, I wish the best for him because I just think he's a tremendous actor, and I hope he can keep his shit together, you know.
Well, some people are so smart, they're just gonna, like, I think he's one of those. He is really like a creatively brilliant person, but it could be to the point to where, you know, some of those people, you have to be a little crazy, you have to be a little fucked up or a little bothered, because it's the same thing, but on the different end of the spectrum. So it's like, yeah, you can be hella creative, but it also means you might have some hella moods or hella dark sides.
Like, did he?
Well, I mean, look at his acting, the
He's not
places he's able to go. You have to have had something in your life to be able to put you in that headspace that he can get to in those roles.
Yeah. Oh, and the honey baby or whatever he did.
Yeah, about the one about his dad that he went back and come back and said it was all horse shit.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Because it's like, one, I'm not sure if, I just don't know, man. That's the stuff. It's like he can be, but see, a lot of that I think was fueled by him boozing. He drank a lot to kind of,
numb himself. Yeah.
Why are we talking about Shia LaBeouf? Because somebody said they wanted to see him as Wolverine. So we were like, who are we going to cast as Wolverine? Calverine, when we saw that Henry Cavill as Wolverine.
Yeah, that was a joke. Like, why would
I didn't know it was a joke.
Like, oh, that's hilarious. We should do that again and try to take it serious next time. That's fucking crazy.
I'm gonna go with the fan casting. Taron Egerton.
Who?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Taron Egerton from what was the spy movies?
He's in the Kingsman. He's in the Elton John film. Taron's a great one.
He smoke bombed us. Maybe we can talk about Justin Bieber next. Hey, you know what? If we want to make you happy, Billy, if you want to talk about beefs, let's talk about
Caroline, you want to get into our smut rags?
Sure.
So during the past few days, for those that aren't aware, the actual Diddy trials have been taking place. And of course, this is a public trial. So there's a lot of things coming out of them, witness testimonies and all kinds of stuff. And speaking of Justin Bieber, in accordance with the witness testimonies that have came out, he's been dropping slightly less cryptic stuff online, kind of confirming, confirming what people have known and speculated about his time in the industry and time with Diddy this whole time.
Wow.
He was a rag doll.
It's crazy. It's looking like, unfortunately, for a lot of people, that Diddy might walk due to the charges that are being levied against him and the witnesses that are supposed to be the ones that they're using. One witness legitimately has disappeared.
Number 3.
What?
Witness number 3 got disappeared, and that's not on like
they can't find them.
Can't find them. They were supposed to show up, talk to that morning, didn't show up.
Here's a theory. Because apparently number 3, they've got a lot. Witness number 3 has a lot against Diddy, and they've been freaking out about that. But this is what some people are saying is they're just making them think that 3's missing, and they've already put them in witness protection, and then they're going to bring them back. But they're going to be.
I like that theory. That's
insane all over.
Diddy's girlfriend and everything. None of this is going to end up holding up because, unfortunately, where she's claiming X, Y, and Z.
If he walks, somebody will kill him.
Yes.
Somebody will shoot him, and he will be killed.
She was a willing participant in all of these things. Unfortunately, like it's not.
This is where I don't know, because it's like some of the texts say that, but I think it's coercive. I think it was a coercive, abusive relationship.
Well, it was a decades-long relationship. So in a decades-long relationship, there's a lot of
an abusive relationship could last 10 years.
There's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence that you can find in 10 years that for the defense.
But she sent things like, "Yeah, I love these three dolls." But you're going to tell them anything.
Looks very straightforward that the defense can use. Like you have like a. That's so much stuff that the defense can go through and cherry pick something, and that something they cherry pick can be like a smoking gun for the defense.
Cross-examination is supposed to pick her apart.
Yeah, like you lose a lot of context, and especially with the time error and stuff. But that's like defense ammo. So they have a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Diddy's not long for this world if he walks. I'm just going to say.
Why would you think that?
He signed his death warrant when he let people know that he taped all this shit. He's got all these high-powered people on film doing these heinous acts of God knows what, and they will come to him.
Yeah, he dies, then they don't have to worry anymore. It's like that's just he's got what are these like hard drives? He's got clouds full like terabytes worth of smut. And it's crazy because everybody's on these different ones.
He's going to get Clinton by Hillary. Yeah, exactly.
Dude. Hell, Bill may be in some of them white parties. There's everybody.
It could happen.
Bill's everywhere. Possible. If he's on that island, why wouldn't he be in a white party? I love the thing though, like when it's at the Trump inauguration and like he talks about the Gulf of America, Hillary starts cracking up and Bill looks at her and he's like, "Hon." Like, that Southern man, like, you gotta shut the fuck up. On. God. Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah, the checkout line magazine news has been fantastic this week. You know, like when you're at the grocery store and you're just reading the headlines on all the articles.
Yeah.
Like that version of media for today has been wildly entertaining this week.
Do you know who the
Caroline are
prosecutor?
victims of that kind of.
You know who the head prosecutor is?
I don't.
It's a lady. She is Jim Comey's daughter.
Oh yeah, I did hear that. Yeah, she's trying to catch her career case because when I heard that they were
She's
talking
been
about
given a few career cases at a very young age, which is
Yeah.
very controversial because they think
Yeah.
a little favoritism's been shown.
Well, absolutely, but
nepotism
she's
there.
going for a
Yep.
career case because I heard that when they mentioned like the last two cases before this one that she was
She was
also a
given
part
the
of.
Epstein case.
Yeah, or career cases
Wow.
that she's fumbled so far. So
Jim Comey's daughter that just
she's
came
like the
out.
prosecutor version of
Harvard.
Kathleen Kennedy.
She's a young federal prosecutor.
She's trying like hell to leave a legacy, and she's failing along the way. But they're going to just keep giving them to her despite her failures.
Did
No,
you see
the Epstein trial, I
Michelle?
think she had to. I don't think she could take it for some reason. I have to read why, but she
Her
initially got.
conflict of
She
interest.
she couldn't
Probably.
take it.
Oh
She
man,
take the case. She not Epstein's egg-sized peni.
did y'all see
Egg-shaped
where
phallus.
James O'Keefe posted the video from inside the library at the island? James O'Keefe is getting information for people.
Who is he? Was he like? Who was he?
James O'Keefe is like the #1 real journalist on the planet. He's the guy who ran Project
man.
Veritas forever, like the one that's like gets firsthand
Project Veritas.
the person who gets firsthand out of the actual
look at
person
them real
involved's
quick.
mouth, like on tape, real time evidence. Yes, Project Veritas. The guy. You remember when we were talking
An
about
American
the,
far right activist group.
Do you remember?
Got it.
I mean, if
The
that's how
group
you want to
produced
pretend like it's
deceptively
labeled,
edited videos of.
if that's how you want to pretend like it's labeled, sure, you can watch whole videos that aren't edited. What
but
you're
they're
reading,
the same ones that went
what
into
you're
the like
reading,
abortion clinics and like you're giving away fetus parts.
What you're reading right now is literally someone trying to besmirch them because of what the information they get, and you just
No, bro,
automatic-
I literally
you just-
worked in
hold on,
research and
before
I
you
know the
interrupt me,
process of how
before you-
fetal parts are
before
like.
you interrupt me,
I can
you
speak
just
on
you
truth.
just you just literally Googled something, read 3 sentences, and just took it to the bank.
No,
What you
I
did-
didn't. You don't know what my previous experience is. I was wanting to confirm that Project Veritas was that right wing group
It's
that I was
not.
thinking it was, because the thing is that I worked in research where we had we worked on extremely aggressive developmental cancers that occurred in utero in children that were developing, and some of those are some of the most aggressive types of colorectal cancers that exist. Now, sometimes it's terrible.
What does
we
that
lose
have
those
to do
children,
with
but
Project
it's about-
Veritas?
Okay, what does it have to do? You have to fucking listen for more than 30 seconds.
That's golden coming from you right now.
Look, I'm trying to give you my background directly working with research where there is a legal process in which if there is a terminated pregnancy, like science and the individuals at the clinic, medical physicians, they section off part of these samples from a dead fetus that
What does it
died
have
from
to do with
cancer,
Project
and these
Veritas?
parts are sent to as precious samples sent to
What
universities
does it have
across
to
the
do with
nation.
Project Veritas?
Project
getting you there.
Veritas tried to say that that's bullshit and they're chopping up kids when they don't understand the nuance of
Did
research
Project
and
Veritas
how
try to
samples are
say
meted out.
anything? Did they
They're
try to say?
retards.
Did they
Folks, I
say
can't say that
anything,
word.
or did they
They're
just
dumb.
wait? Did they say anything,
mean to
or
say
did
the
they
R
just release a full unedited video of the people working there saying something? There's a huge difference here that you're not pointing out. Are they attaching a narrative, or are they just
They're
getting
attaching a
people
narrative.
on record, filming it, and releasing it? There's a huge
It breaks
difference.
down. Cecile
They're-
Richards, the
they're
head
not-
of
no,
Planned
wait, hold on,
Parenthood,
quit.
fucking
Hey, I'm going to read this comment. Lady, stop interrupting
rest in
people.
peace.
So there's a huge difference that you're not, and this is where the targeted actual misinformation comes in. Are they releasing footage or are they creating a narrative? They're releasing footage and people are choosing to create narratives, which you have your narrative on your opinion on them, and then far right people will grab it and run with it too. But are they in control of what these people in all these different fields are saying, including most recently one that you and I both enjoyed that they got on record was about the Crown family, when they got what's his name talking about Andrew recently and got the Crown under scrutiny again.
Who was talking about Andrew?
Prince Andrew's ex-wife's boyfriend, that was just like all over the media for making those comments about got him on film talking to this girl in a bar who he thought he was getting favor with because he was trying to go home with her, talking about how he was mad that Andrew lied to him, that Andrew really did hook up with all these girls during that time with Epstein and all this. So these same people who are just sitting there, all they do is release the video, and then it's the media, the right, the left, everyone in between that takes that information straight from the horse's mouth, and then they run with it how they want to run with it. But how is an unedited videotape left or right?
Because it's not unedited.
The unedited tapes are out there. If someone takes the unedited tape and edits to their bias and puts a narrative, that's on that media. You can go look at the unedited tapes of all these things.
You can come work in a fucking biochemistry lab.
About working in your lab. I'm talking about a tape. You're changing the subject.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is I directly have dealt with the process of obtaining samples from these clinics.
About the tape, not just on what the one.
I'm talking about the literal process and how what you saw is not what happened.
That's irrelevant. The process.
Yeah, you can't watch the entire video. Thank you.
We're watching. They're talking about a tape, and not just of that one you're talking about. They didn't do just one story. They're responsible for a lot of WikiLeaks stuff. They're responsible for what you're talking about.
The one I can specifically talk on from direct experience.
Which tape?
I'm talking about all the shit that they had to do with, they tried to create all this bullshit about Planned Parenthood and abortion clinics using chopped up fetuses parts from fucking trash cans. And it's bullshit.
Ooh, man. I want to send you a video for us to for you to look at, for us to talk about offline, because it'll get a little bit spicy. I think there's a large part of stuff. I need to send you
to a fucking responsible conduct and research class so you can learn how to source citations and understand what's real versus false, because you can't. You buy bullshit, dude.
Absolutely.
You don't know how to discern the difference. And there are classes and courses you can take.
No, what it is I don't sit there and just assume the Google search.
I was just looking up to what Project Veritas was to make sure I thought it was what I thought it was.
I don't do the standard appeal to authority, trust the narrative thing you do. Like, there's a huge difference between what you're accusing me of and what you're doing.
I'm not accusing you of. I'm accusing that group of being something. You're not being accused.
And you're attaching it to one random example that you're trying to steer away from my entire
a specific scenario that a huge deal was made out of because it's platform politics, and that's bullshit. And so many people, when you evoke emotions, you immediately stop thinking rationally. And then so people say, "Oh, dead baby parts." They stop thinking rationally and they just buy it.
Caroline, what I'm sending you right now is the actual live footage from multiple news sources. No, don't say nothing. No, just listen before you interrupt. I'm sending you an actual multi-source live footage where a container with over 17,000 aborted babies are sitting there in a container that didn't get picked up. And this is literally on camera. Like, the local,
you have zero medical background, bro.
What are you talking about? See,
biochemical.
Oh my God.
How do you really know what they are? How do you even know that that's true?
Oh my God.
And what do you know that it represents?
See, what's happening right now is something seems so crazy to you that you assume it's not true. You are so far removed from reality on some of this stuff.
It's not
because
that
it sounds so horrific that you
big claims require big evidence.
Then watch
You're
that
making
video.
Big fucking claims.
Watch that video. This is not a secret. This was news, Caroline.
I don't see it.
I just sent it to you.
Oh, wait. Aborted baby, 17,000 found.
And I like how you do that. Now, I can't wait for you to just drop off, watch that, and come back and apologize to me. It'll be fun.
No, I'm not.
The truth seems crazy in a world full of lies. No, you won't, because the truth for you is too scary. And that's okay.
Abortion health information.
Like a lot of people live like that. Telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about is fucking hilarious to me. Because one of us actually takes the time to look into this more than just somebody who you assume has authority and you trusting them. That's not how I live my life.
Oh, dude, I spent so much time in research.
You spent so much time being trained on how to believe what you're told. That's what you've done.
No, they don't.
No, she did not. She's been trained to
read the Bible. How do I know? Okay, look. How do you guys know? Can you show, like, have you guys ever worked in a lab environment? Do you know what vaccines are?
Caroline, why are you talking about vaccines right now? Why aren't you just looking at that video I just sent you?
I am a lady. What the fuck?
She is a lady. And for the record, I want everyone in the chat to know I love this lady right here.
I love this dude.
Yeah, me and her do this every day.
Shut the fuck up. Well,
yeah, me and her do this every day in our DMs. We have fun doing this.
We're gonna hug it out at the end, but look, we're allowed to argue. Yeah. We don't let it affect our absolute respect and appreciation. Like, we're gonna say, "Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you," and then we're gonna fucking hug it out.
This makes no bearing on how we feel about each other or how we'll be talking to each other 2 hours from now.
Like real life, dude's a good man. He does right and he does good by people. I know you're a lady. I didn't know you called yourself a lady.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, her screen name is Lady Fantastic. Yeah. Don't get us twisted. Me and her are not your normal interlocutors.
So glad I stopped by for this.
We do this for fun.
We love each other.
2 weeks ago, we were doing this over Tom Cruise.
But what you guys got to understand is, like, people can do this, and I'm not going to go and be like, fuck this motherfucker.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't recommend anyone else talk to each other like we talk to each other, but we know each other.
But this was established before. We didn't just start out this way.
No.
There was a building up, and it crescendos. What you see, because like we share shit about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and I'm not much of a lady with the foul mouth. Well, Cash Kid, you talk a lot for bullshitter.
From Diddy to Tara, me and her argue about everything every day, and we have fun doing it because we have very different perspectives on a lot of topics, and that's why we enjoy talking to each other, because we're not sitting there just blowing smoke up each other's butt. It gives us new perspective on things. And like Perry said, the back and forth is healthy. It is, because like we said, we don't lose respect for each other. We don't have to agree with each other. And Lady's going to have to give me an I'm sorry once she actually has the balls.
I have no huevos. Yeah. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I really do want you to see it, because I ran into this at the comic shop this past Tuesday. I was sitting there hanging out at the shop talking to a couple people in there, and something was mentioned, and there's a knee-jerk reaction to it. There's no way that's true. That's just absolutely crazy. And I just smiled, because I'm not.
If you give me something to view, you should always view something.
I'm not trying to dunk on anybody. I spend a lot of time, just because I think it's enjoyable, going down certain rabbit holes, and it's crazy what I have come to find out is true. Like somebody pointed out in the chat, like the truth is crazy when you live in a world full of lies. That's literally what the world is these days. And it's not that we live in a world of lies. We live in our bubbles of comfort and stuff. And some things, like I do it, I'm guilty of it. I have my own bubbles of comfort. But
we live in a world of bias, and
there's just some things that are so crazy that you would never assume them to be true. If you're told it, you would think that that's obviously a lie, but then you find out it's true.
We definitely suffer from confirmation bias, I would say. I certainly do.
Have you looked at the video yet?
I looked at some of them aborted. I see it's a.
No, just pause this. Watch that real quick.
No, you want me to watch it so bad.
Here's what I know. What I know is that this is badass.
Holy shit!
I can't wait. This will be David Nakayama's 1-in-10 ratio for Transformers issue 21. Which has been the 1-in-10s have been he's been putting out over the last couple are coming together to be a connecting cover. But this, I like this.
That's amazing. That's first thing that caught my eye are the actual fingers on it.
Right.
The little wear and tear at the joints and stuff.
That's just awesome.
The detail on that is amazing.
Is that an exclusive with somebody?
No, it's gonna be it's the 1-in-10. I believe this is the 1-in-10 because that's what he's been doing. Has been the 1-in-10 ratios. So little bit more than the A or B cover, but not a lot, and fairly readily available. So
civility matters, and no, we get a little not civil
Me and
because it's
Caroline ain't
a
got a lot
brother
of
and
that.
sister thing.
I tried, guys.
We thank you, Rob. I love you.
Yeah,
You did
Rob,
the
that
right
was a
thing.
valiant effort.
Sorry,
That
old
wasn't
school.
bad. Rob's
What
like
I love-
Transformer bomb.
What I love is that y'all can have the conversation. That's what's wrong with the world these days. People can't meet in the middle and have the fucking conversation and talk it out. You know,
Yeah.
they're just so dead set.
then agree to
This is the
disagree.
way it is, or that's the way it is, and anybody else that doesn't agree with that, well, fuck them. You know.
Mhm.
That's no
Yeah.
fun for me.
No.
Yeah, I love the fact that y'all can, talk it out.
Well, how do you? That's the only way we can heal is if
Right.
first of all we have to recognize that regardless of the side you come from, you're my American brother or my American sister. And
Exactly.
we share so much more, infinitely more we have in common than these small little things that we could sit here and scratch our nuts by the fire and yell about all night till the cows come home. It doesn't change real life stuff for us.
Right.
But
Well,
like
that and who benefits by you being against each other? It's all to keep you distracted and
A great
away
way, yeah.
from everything else.
And
So
a great way to think about it is no matter what, if she watches that video and says, I'm right, or if she watches it and thinks she's right, if we come to an agreement, what did we change? Ultimately, what did we change in the discussion, the topic, and the events? Nothing.
just like regardless of what happens to P. Diddy, I say he's going to get locked up. He says he's going to go free. Not going to change either way. Like we have zero control. Like, but you know, maybe we're small people and we're not talking about like fucking astrophysics and how we save the world, and we're talking about crazy
Isn't this
shit.
a comic book stream?
Yeah,
No.
That's
Well, Rob likes to remind
right.
everybody what this stream is.
but comic books take you everywhere.
Rob regularly has to tell someone in the chat, this isn't just a stream.
He's
for
always gotta
comic
rein us in.
conversation.
yeah, this is a pop culture, just
community
random
catch-up stream.
community. Yeah, things happen. It goes all over the place.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like shared humanity and peace and civility is what matters most. And like I will always stop fighting because like Mark, I'm not trying to make an enemy out of stupid shit.
No,
You're
you'll
not
never
my
make an
enemy.
enemy out of me. Because
You
you
know
know
what I
me,
mean?
I won't stop arguing. So all
I
you're doing
know.
is fueling the
But I
fire.
won't either.
I get that about you.
Neither of
Mark.
us mean it.
I'm currently trying to start a peaceful argument with Key Collector. I don't know if some of y'all noticed that. I did a video Monday trying to get a correction in the Key Collector app, and it hasn't happened yet. So I made a post yesterday pushing for it. It was 4 days. Today's day 5 that Key Collector has Rick Flag and Rick Flag Sr.'s appearances completely out of pocket and wrong.
If we did like a news gossip, like a People show with me and Mark,
We would say one topic and then melt down for an hour.
but would y'all watch that?
That's the show. See you next
Hey,
week.
Would you watch
I'd
us
tune in.
argue?
That would be wild.
I'd tune in.
And we just
Hey,
lean into
I'm-
the caricatures of ourselves and just go as far as we can in both directions.
Yeah. Hey, it works on TV. I mean, look at the ratings.
Oh, that we
on
would
these
just
shows.
be Piers Morgan at that point, Caroline.
I know.
We would just be
I
Piers Morgan.
know. I would be that. You would be Piers Morgan.
Ever.
I would be that Janine Shapiro or Jean.
Oh, is she the old loud lady from
Oh
Fox?
my God. The View already does that about Trump.
They really do.
No.
Yeah.
I don't watch them. They're just not funny.
I see the clips because a lot of stuff they do at this point gets clipped and for a long while now, it just gets clipped.
I watched the one with Biden and he's just like,
oh, yo,
I'm
shout
like,
out to
that's
Jill.
cruelty,
Shout out to
bro.
Jill for changing his batteries that
I
morning.
hate Jill for still wheeling him out. I feel like she exploits him, man.
I
think
feel like
I think
it's
it's
elder
fair for
abuse.
the Americans.
Absolutely, 100%. It's elder abuse. They should put Biden away from
They
the
should
public
Jimmy Carter him
at this
already?
point. It's not doing him any service.
I just feel
Why-
like he's being used.
Why
Yes,
I think, like, well,
absolutely. He's being used so he
has
can write
anyone
books so they
seen-
can sell the books.
have y'all seen Biden since he was done with the job? I think that was the first time he came out, right? So I
That
think
was
it's
it.
like me
He was
personally,
handled. He
like
was not.
taking
so
any kind
sad.
of political bias out. I think it was important and expected as Americans to get to see our former president come out and speak at least once, since that's normal, right? For the president to come out
Normal,
and
but
speak.
he's not normal right now.
Oh, I'm not arguing that. I'm saying,
Well,
like,
it's like he's old and he's got.
if you never
old
saw
people shit.
Biden again, like that would be weirder than seeing him again.
I don't
I
think
feel
so.
bad for him.
I don't know. Having experience with Alzheimer's and all that stuff, I think it would have been kind to not wheel him out.
Yeah.
Like, there's a level of dignity that's being forfeited,
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
and like a level of like respect. I feel like he's being stripped of.
So
But
James, I was able to successfully get Key Collector to update some Ghost Machine stuff back about a year ago. So I'm attempting to do it again, and Key Collector reached out, and I can tell you what they said, but they haven't responded to my response to them, because they had a question about a discrepancy with the character's appearance, and it was a valid question, but it just shows you that there's a difference in someone who's having to do a quick research to try to assign these and people that read the books along the way. But he said you'll have to explain how Flag Senior in Secret Origins fathered a kid with Sharon Race, while Junior met Karen Grace, who was in Brave and the Bold 25. The point of Secret Origin is that they explained there was real people to Brave and the Bold 25. The same Rick Flag in the ongoing series has a romantic past with Karen Grace, just as he did with her in Brave and the Bold. And that was an easy question for me. I said, Crisis, brother. Secret Origins was one of the titles that redefined the, air quotes, past of the DCU post-Crisis. Everything after Crisis is new continuity. Rick Flag Sr.'s death is also covered in Secret Origins. You're saying that he dies in the book that he first appears in is crazy work. And also used John Byrne's Man of Steel as an example of how, like, after Crisis, they did that 6-issue miniseries where they retold Superman's origin with slight differences from the originals, not making him a different Superman, and DC's continuity at that point was wild. They even did like 0 Hour to try to clean up some more things, but Rick Flag Sr. is the Rick Flag from the Silver Age who was with the military team that fought dinosaurs and stuff like that. And that's Rick Flag Sr. He's been around since before the Justice League. I worked on Key Collector for about a year. They do not like to admit issues they have. That's super fair. Unfortunate, but fair. But I reached out to a person that has that knows them as well, and hopefully it'll get updated. It's kind of crazy. We're in this DCU, and Rick Flag Sr. is like the connecting fiber between it all, from Creature Commandos to Superman to Peacemaker. He's in all of it, so it'd be great if he was accurately reflected. Plus, I'm a big Rick Flag fan.
who is Rick Flag? I know who Ric Flair is.
He's the guy who leads the Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah. I don't read DC, if you can tell.
Frank Grillo was playing him in the DCU stuff. What's going on, George?
Just pulled so thin.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what I assume. I know people are like heavily critical. There's some people that are heavily critical of the app and its impact and influence on things. But ultimately, who cares?
Got in a bunch of Lois Lanes yesterday. George C. Scott. That's crazy. George C. Scott, did he play Patton?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker. He was good in that role.
He was damn good in that role.
That was his role. Got a Lois Lane 53.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, from my buddy Scotty Vaughn. He offered
That's
me
beautiful.
to sell me. I bought a few. There's 76.
Yeah, it's
The Demon in the Bottle. That's me, and that's Mark right there.
right there. It's accurate.
He's like, DD's guilty. There's Lois
That's
Lane.
beautiful covers.
Witching
How
on
about
Wheels.
screaming they're turning the frogs gay?
Yeah, Chobani's turning the frogs gay. Oh God, Alex, fucking, I saw the craziest.
Oh
Because
no,
I like
no, no,
watching
no! We're not doing it to him. We're not doing it to
Roseanne
him.
and Alex Jones did a podcast together.
Yeah, this week.
It was fucking insane. I watched it.
It was a little bit harder to get through, but Ian Carroll did one with Roseanne, which Roseanne she was a little too unfocused for that
Dude.
guy to be as effective as he can be and is.
Roseanne, she has brain trauma. She got hit by a car at like 18.
She also sits on her podcast and drinks a couple glasses of wine, and so she gets a little bit looser as she goes. But But I mean, it's entertaining in that aspect.
Smokes
But
weed too, doesn't
if
she?
you're coming there for if you're coming there for like straight up information, you don't necessarily want the entertainment. Just give me the data.
Well, for her, she just likes bullshitting, I think.
Yeah. She's just sitting there shooting the shit.
Which, I mean, to hear her and to hear Alex Jones talk about himself when he's like, I was 12 years old, I had many sexual experiences I developed quite early. About the time of 17, I had quite many.
That's a fantastic impersonation, all BS aside.
Thank you.
I was doing a voice of Elvis smokes 7 packs a day.
So I was doing the voice of country, lady smokers, lunch ladies, hey honey, you want some extra chicken strips? I'll put a couple under there for you.
This is spot on, AR.
Want some extra mashed taters?
Yeah. Hey baby,
give me
just
some
grab
sugar,
me an extra cookie, honey. I ain't gonna charge you.
Give you a little extra gravy.
Thank you, baby. Tell your mama and them I said, hey, I'll see them this Sunday. The old smoky ladies, country smoky ladies voice. And they had those little clip packs. It was like these little leather clip packs that you would put a pack of cigarettes in and change in the front. If your mom in the South had one of those. Sorry. Just memories. Southern trash memories.
I'll show you a book. You might like this. He's definitely one of the hottest artists in the game right now, if not the hottest artist in the game. And I opened this up last night during the member stream, but I got that metal cover for Monsters issue number 4. This was a Huntsville comic exclusive. And I like the Mummy. I'm a big fan of the OG Mummy stuff, especially the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies. Even
yes,
Steph, you know this about me. I especially love the Tom Cruise Mummy movie. But I saw this and it was just awesome. I love the colors, the greens, and I've got a friend
beautiful.
I got a friend that's real life friends.
Is that a number 1?
It's issue 4, I believe.
And it's metal?
Yeah.
I've got to check those out. I've been seeing those.
But this was limited to only 50 copies. This one was. I didn't try to get the metal. I reached out to a friend that's friends with Mark Spears and knew they were going to be at the con and asked if he could get me 2 copies of this book. And he said, yeah, no problem. And he messaged me weeks later once he got there. He's like, Mark's a little low on inventory, so I grabbed you just one of the medals. This is limited to 50, and it's like a $700 book, and he refused to let me pay him for it. He didn't pay that, he just got it. But
that's insane.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. Look at the eyes on it.
It's amazing.
I'm not looking at the eyes, but yeah, the eyes are nice.
Yeah, look at the eyes. They just look back at you. I'm sorry.
Y'all,
what big eyes you have.
There's a bird in the front of my door. Miss Kitty brought me a bird.
Oh, does it have a head or no head?
It's got a head, but it is not with us any longer.
Fairly attached.
You know what she's doing? She thinks you can't hunt for yourself.
I know. This is not the first time.
She sucks at hunting, so she's hunting for you.
Yeah, she heard you and I arguing, and she's like, "This woman needs help."
She's like, "She's hungry. She's gonna hurt somebody."
Her blood sugar's getting low.
You should go get a turkey. Leave the turkey in front of the cat.
This one needs a new bag, something serious. This bag doesn't know favors.
She's scared of the geese.
This was a Keen Spot exclusive that I opened up this week as well, but it features my all-time favorite monster,
what
King
number?
Kong. But this is issue number 1, 4th print, some kind of special. It's on high gloss, super high gloss.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that is really cool.
But I like this at nighttime with the moonlight illuminating it.
Yeah,
The
I
only
love
downside
it.
is it's pretty dark.
Love the blue. Yeah.
But it just outlines just like the right parts kind of thing. Yeah, AR, well done. What a mighty hunter. Yeah.
I mean, this cat, the other day I had to wrestle a chipmunk from her. I had to convince her. She had it. I didn't want her to kill it because it was
Did you
still
scream,
alive.
Alvin?
I was like, Miss Kitty, stop! Miss Kitty, stop! And it scared her. Like she thought I was freaking out. And so she dropped it and looked at me like, what? And,
What? I thought you wanted to eat this.
I don't want you to kill it.
Where did
So
she
guys,
find it?
I got to bounce, but hey, Mark, thanks so much for having me on
Yeah,
again.
you're welcome anytime,
And
man.
it's awesome to be on with you guys. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
I appreciate you
Have a good
putting
one.
up with me and my sister over here.
Yeah. Sorry that we fought. Families, you
It
know.
Y'all take it easy.
See ya.
Yeah.
I think we scared people.
It's okay. I like how Rob's just so used to it now. He's like, all right, this means I get to work uninterrupted for the next.
I was just submitting a case over to reviewing a legal request and sent it over to UK legal counsel for validation of my thought process. And
all right. Well, I'm glad you guys were helping you get your work done.
I've been working on my poison ivy cover here.
Oh yeah, I heard about this. You want to tell people what you have going on with Eddie?
Sure, I do. Eddie, the comic guy, and I are friends on the artist Instagram. And anyway, he ended up sending me this awesome Vampirilla card he did that I was admiring, and so he sent it to me.
Just tilt
Anyway,
it forward your back. There you go.
We were talking about stuff.
Yeah, look at her eyes.
I mean, they're insane. I mean, he's so good. I think this. Come on.
That's clever, the way you focus the attention onto the eyes by putting the glare across the chest. That was phenomenal.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Anyway, Rod.
I know. I was liking that Mark was being facetious in his request, and then as you were holding it, the glare went right across her cleavage, so that all you could see was her face.
So we were thinking about it, and I thought we could do a dueling sketches of Poison Ivy. I have this Batman book that Naman sent me, this blank cover along with a couple other covers that are blank. And I like doing Poison Ivy, and then he said, yeah, let's do that. And so we decided we're going to next Sunday reveal both of our covers. And then we'll have a vote on Instagram, and then the loser has to draw anything the winner wants. Now, both of these are going to be auctioned off, and all the proceeds are going to go to C3.
You should tell him to draw Spider-Man Ping sitting down.
I've been thinking about a lot of obnoxious, absurd things that I could have him draw, but I saw it. He showed me his drawing so far. And I'm freaking scared.
I just drew Poison Ivy. Can you tell?
I love it. I love it. So this is what I have so far. She's gonna be a Polaroid. I was gonna Polaroids underneath her, and then I got to Poison Ivy her.
Oh yeah, you can just insert a toilet right behind her.
Or a massive bat.
Jim.
Bat Wang.
The Jim dog.
Jim dog. Jim dog, baby.
Yeah. So.
Looking forward to the public domains. Can't get here soon enough. Yeah, it's coming fast. Coming fast. I saw where Mark Miller was talking about it already, having a Superman book.
What's opening up?
The time that a lot of stuff will be opening up over the coming decade. You know, Superman will be opening up a Golden Age Superman. You know, there are differences that are added to the character along the way that wouldn't be.
They only open up, like, can they continue to buy the rights to it or something, or no?
It depends. There's certain things that have happened over the years that, like, Disney did with Mickey Mouse and stuff like that. That they, like, I'd have to look up some of the details, but they've done certain things to try to extend certain aspects of stuff and this and that. But yeah, Superman's getting opened up. King Kong is about to be getting opened up
in 8 years, or
Superman in 8 years. Yeah. So it used to, like, what it is on paper, like the most basic level of it is
Godzilla.
Like, what is it? Godzilla's
King Kong's older than Godzilla.
Yeah, King Kong is 1933.
Damn.
King
8.
Kong's the first.
Yeah.
First kaiju.
Damn.
Yeah, Superman won't be able to fly. You know, there was whatever the attributes that he had in his first appearance.
I wonder about those. So like some Arthur Conan Doyle stories, like some of his characters, or some like Sherlock Holmes or
Well,
whatever.
Sherlock Holmes is
No,
already
that's not
public
Arthur
domain.
Conan Doyle. That's someone else. Rudyard. No, wait.
Arthur
Rudyard
Conan
Kipling is
Doyle,
Jungle Books. Arthur, where's Pops at?
I know.
God,
I'm
who
getting
wrote
my
Sherlock Holmes? Why are we brain farting Sherlock Holmes of all people? Like
Well, he wrote
Dracula.
Sherlock Holmes. Arthur
Yeah.
Conan Doyle did.
So like
But
Dracula is
Kipling wrote all
public
the.
domain. Frankenstein is public domain. A lot of
That's
those
Shelley.
Universal horror movies, they say, where's he at? Yeah. We were brain farting on Sherlock Holmes
You
creator.
heard.
Yeah. Oh, he's always here. He's lurking. But when you and I are going at it, it's like, all right, now it's time for me to go wash the dishes. He's retired. He ain't got time for debates. And you got me who's always trying to start one with him just for fun. Pops isn't immune to my my debater roddery.
I bet he had to get you. God damn. Where did you get that shit from?
Me? Yeah, no one knows. I don't know.
Christina.
My parents say it's because I'm hard-headed and it's because I'm redheaded, and I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bitch.
We better be careful. Hollywood's trying to cancel you.
Me?
They're not fans of redheads. Hey, Tila in the new He-Man movie. Saw set photos.
Why
Y'all
don't
see
they
that?
like redheads?
They're always swapping up redheaded characters like forever, like for the past 10 years. Go look at there's like a list.
I think
online.
Hollywood, they're more biased towards male redheads. I think get it the worst. Female
think all of
redheads
them.
don't get. I mean, we get it pretty bad. We don't have souls, you know.
I wonder if somewhere.
That's the problem. You don't show up on camera.
Yeah, I was
Because the
wondering if
cameras,
it's a thing. Like,
cameras
if they're
as
like,
we
dude,
well
the
have
complexion just
established,
doesn't work.
Reflect nothing.
cameras have been well established are designed to steal your soul, and since you have no soul, you show. It's like a vampire in a mirror. You don't really show up on camera, so we
Hard
have
to
to get
capture.
non-redheads to play redheads.
Wait a minute,
Not
it's
retro.
fucking ridiculous. In high school, like I played on a high school soccer team or whatever, and we were practicing, and one of my goalies was talking shit or whatever, and I was kind of midfield, and I mooned her. I showed her my ass or whatever, and she was like, "Girl, I didn't know you wear tighty whities." I'm like, "Dude, that's my butt cheeks."
Oh my god!
She's like, "Your ass is
Oh
white."
my god! Everyone should read the original Sherlock Holmes stories because they are hilarious. Greatest detective, no greatest pyromaniac. Definitely, this guy's always lighting houses on fire to prove his point. Yeah, Pops has read them all multiple times. Pops is a huge Sherlock Holmes guy.
I remember reading those a while back. Back when I used to.
I enjoyed the Guy Ritchie films that they did with Robert Downey Jr.
Oh,
I
I
had
like
like
the
a big
Cumberbatch show.
unabridged patch of it that I watched. I read back in the middle school or something.
Appreciate you, baby. You did get me a body.
Rob, did you see the He-Man set photo? I might be assuming
Yes.
too much here. Are you a He-Man fan?
Not necessarily, but I did see the set photo. I stumbled across it through doom scrolling on Instagram.
I think it looked promising. I know a lot of people are holding some judgment back because it looks like they're doing the bring the Eternia characters to our world thing again, like they did with the Dolph Lundgren film. And folks just want like and I get it. I'd prefer just a straight up like Eternia set film. Like let's Lord of the Rings this and the Eternia.
Exactly. Yeah. Why you don't have to cross over worlds? Just
why would you? Like the only time they do that is in the movie, and now they're going to do it again in this movie. It seems like a weird thing to do, but Prince Adam looked cool wearing the pink shirt with the white undershirt. I'm like, that's as close to the Eternia.
Oh, I didn't see that. All I've seen was the one Tila photo. I think it was.
Let me grab a photo real fast.
Forwarded
Who is Tila?
Legal.
That's He-Man's main.
Oh.
I just remember She-Ra.
Or was it?
By
who
the
was it?
Charm of Grey Skull.
Was it Tila? It was what's her name? The Empress of
Evil Lynn.
Grey Skull.
Oh, just the Empress.
Or the Sorceress. The Sorceress.
That's it. Yeah.
I remember Tila Tequila, but she's dead.
She is not the same.
She's lost some weight.
Yeah,
She
a
didn't have
lot of
nothing.
mass.
She went, man. Her
Nothing
where
but
she
skin and
now
bones.
journey is crazy. But yeah, check that out.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
There's
Not bad, right? Like the dude's. That looks pretty close. You know what I mean? Again, he's wearing Earth clothes, not Eternia clothes. But you got Tila rocking the Eternia fit. It looks good. It looks very close. Other than she doesn't have turtle shells for tits.
I don't think the girl is translating well with her outfit there.
Well, any more than he does her.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Any more than he does his. I don't. It doesn't necessarily even have to be that it's in Human World. They can just making it. Look, let's not be ridiculous. Let's just do some contemporary clothing and stuff, man. Just the images and the style that you're used to.
Yeah. And hopefully they just
Jesus
go,
Christ
like,
Superstar, theory.
What is going on, Rich? Hopefully they just go fetch him. Hey, Toppy, what's up, homie?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna have to leave early today.
As am I. Today is the day that Finn has his honors day at school. And I have to be there. I have to be leaving here in just a few.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I have a meeting. Somebody has been mean and set up a meeting for me at in about 10 minutes. So,
Well, I do want to remind everybody that for this He-Man movie, guess what?
What?
Jared Leto is the actor playing Skeletor.
Oh
How cool would it be if he refuses to cut his beautiful hair and it's just like the skeleton head with Jared Leto's beautiful hair?
Wouldn't he be under
It'd be funny if Jared Leto put on 50 pounds for the part.
And I think it would be great is given this contemporary clothing we see, Skeletor's just wearing a hoodie.
Yeah,
Jared Leto.
I'm excited. Jared Leto, he's got a couple of jobs that really befuddled people, like the portrayal of Joker. He didn't come up with the way they portrayed Joker. He just did the job. Same thing with Morbius. He didn't write the movie. He just played in it. But Jared Leto is an Academy Award winning top tier actor. So if you do your job right, Dallas Buyers Club, and he's been nominated for numerous other things. Like he's been in movies since like the late 90s, like all kinds of stuff. He played all kinds of different roles. He's very versatile, very, very good actor. So if you do your job and get a good script and everything, design a good character, and if it fits the actor Jared Leto, not every good role plays out good because it might get miscast, but he can do good. He can definitely do good.
I was about to say, Jared Leto's gonna play. Wait, hold on. Back up. Did y'all say there was gonna be a new He-Man movie? I wasn't aware of this. I didn't get no information.
Yeah,
on
it's been
this.
in production for a little while now. It's been confirmed for a long time, but the set is being filmed right now, so set photos are coming out and stuff.
Oh my god! Dude, this has been something that's been necessarily needed for a while. I think, because again, Dolph Lundgren was the first guy to do the live action. I think
It's been that long, like 40 years.
Yeah, wasn't it like 80s when that happened with Dolph Lundgren? That was 80s, right? I can't remember. So
I think it was like 84, 85, something like that.
Well, either way, though, this has been long awaited. And let me tell you something. Back when I was a kid, I don't remember where we got the VHS, if it was like a McDonald's promo or something. Because I remember getting Happy Meal toys of He-Man for an anniversary.
When is it, Rob?
87.
87, yeah.
Yeah, because I think at McDonald's or something, they were having a He-Man anniversary Happy Meal or something. And it included the pilot VHS. And, that was one of the things I grew up with. And I thought, live action sounds good. Then later found out about Dolph Lundgren. And to this day, I was like, man, I wish they could make another live action. But now they are. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Hey, Legion, I'm glad you can hear me now. Last night was...
It wasn't just you. When you hopped off, Rob ended up coming on a little while after, and Durs couldn't hear him either. Durs had to hop off and reset his stuff and hop back on.
Yeah, but while I'm at, let me say hello to everyone on panel.
Hey,
hello,
guys.
Legion. Hello, fantastic lady. Hello, madam. I see you. Good morning. Good morning. Got the little morning vibe going. How you doing? Rob, how you doing, brother?
About to run off.
Well, I gotta go freaking do adult shit like my job.
I know this
Yeah.
job working stuff is the shit.
Well, I'm
I
not
wish
gonna
I
lie
could just
to-
be a really rich oligarch and not have to do anything other than make other people's lives worse.
Yeah,
Well, well, let me tell you this, okay? Before you go off, I love both these and all these on
Well,
this
thank
panel.
you.
Y'all are
Appreciate
great.
you, sir.
So, yeah, love it.
No, no,
We need the beard. We need the beard.
That's a lie. No.
Yes,
grill in there too, man.
Dude, Jared Leto, yes. That's the epitome.
He already looks like that.
Yeah, all they did was put
What do
his
you mean?
foot up.
I gotta go. That makes me
All right, guys. I appreciate everyone hopping on. Retro, thanks for catching us at the tail end here, man.
Oh, we're leaving
I'm
now?
about to
All of
go
us
celebrate
leaving?
my son's honors day at school. And,
Congratulations, Mark, on having a
Oh.
smart son.
Oh, congratulations.
And I
didn't
want you
catch
to
it,
know,
man.
Mark, I want you to know that intelligence is inherited from the mom.
It is. Which I'll have you know, my mom is a award-winning credited teacher of the year who gets to travel the world every year on someone else's dime to teach her curriculums to other people, all while being a 4-foot hobbit country woman who's a Bible thumper and never said a cuss word in her life.
That's
amazing. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, regarding what she just said. Regarding what you just said, now I know where my sarcasm comes from, because my mother has some serious dark human sarcasm, and now it's confirmed that all my blood persona comes from my mother. Thank
There
you,
you go.
Miss Miranda.
Well, I appreciate everyone hopping on. And until next time, as always.
Is that it? Is that all you got?